Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Quest podcast with your boy HSR.
And your lady friend Bonnie.
And before we get into it, of course, in the description you can see when we start. And we're gonna just let you know that we're some average, non-super hip-hop head type people.
I beg your pardon. I am nothing but average.
We are just trying to kind of go on a journey to understand the culture better, to go through albums track by track, listen to every song, kind of give you our impression of how we feel as we go through it. So just take that all with a grain of salt, and we do love all the comments that the channel gets, and I think most of our growth has really come in regards to comments. And just to show you the kinds that we love the best is from super old school 1994. I watched it, and this was on last week's episode where we talked about the Insane Clown Posse's The Great Malenko album. Mm-hmm. And he said, I watched this on your Patreon yesterday, and while I don't like ICP at all, they have their own lane, and they excel at what they do. So from a business perspective, they are geniuses.
I'll give him that much. I agree.
They might be one of the most interesting independent underground movements ever. They are geniuses catering to the misfits of society and giving them a right to be accepted amongst other weirdos and outcasts. As a weirdo and an outcast, I relate to that, and I agree. Hip-hop tends to shut out these kinds of people out, and they're not as popular as the ones who do mainstream-sounding music.
Clowns.
Understood. They do wear clown makeup. I love it. So does Tech N9ne. I love it. I actually like ICP from 1992 when they were in the Inner City Posse, and like Bonnie said, there were 3 members, and the other dude left.
Because in my opinion, there has to be more than 2 people to be a posse.
But then they have the whole clique behind them. The whole psychopathic movement. Anyway, it was changed to Insane Clown Posse in 1992. And the most standout work to me is their 1991 EP, Dog Beats. And that's when Shaggy 2 Dope came in. And I believe, as for this album, the only thing I really like is the beat for How Many Times. That's pretty much it. Nice review, guys. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
I like more than that. You guys can check out that review if you care. But yeah, he is one of our patrons. That's why I was mentioned there. It's not why I picked a comment. It was just the longest, coolest comment on that video. And we do have Patreon, and if you want to check that out, once a month we have the request raffle. And if you do join that, you get to just pick an album. We have to do it on top of a monthly raffle of requests. Check that out if you're interested. Thanks to Ismail Gid. I don't know how to say your last name. I'm sorry.
That
Super
was
Old
a terrible
School,
effort.
1994, and Lindell Williams. We updated the name because he changed his name on YouTube, and now it just looked embarrassing. I will figure that out. All right, guys, thanks to all y'all. Y'all the fucking best. And let's move into the episode before I fucking... Anyway, what album are we reviewing this week?
Well, folks, as you already know, we are doing DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
That is true. So this is our second DMX review because we have, in fact, done his first album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. It made sense to go chronologically. That one came out February of that year. This one, 98?
This one came out December 22nd, 1998.
Which is like 7-8 months after the last album came out, So I learned something. DMX is one of the only artists, I think he may be the only artist in history to have 5 consecutive #1 releases off the jump. Even Eminem missed with Infinite and then went #1 with the following 9.
Right.
But DMX, or at least at that time in history, was the only he's the only guy that never missed, just from the beginning, because his first 5 albums went #1.
Interesting.
And I thought that was super interesting. That was off his Wikipedia page. I didn't actually check much deeper than that, so I'm trusting Wiki here. You guys can let me know if I'm wrong. But what I also thought was interesting is he's the second rapper to have 2 albums released in the same calendar year debut at #1 on the Billboard's Top 200. The first being Tupac with All Eyes on Me and the Don Killuminati, The 7 Day Theory, from February to November. So Pac may have done that one a little faster. But DMX has the, I guess, luxury of being alive for the second one coming out. And so that was anyway.
I feel like DMX just doesn't get enough credit. Or I feel like he's not whenever you think of the greatest rappers of all time, I feel like DMX isn't usually in that group. Like if you just say like, oh, the top 5 or whatever, you know.
I was thinking about that too,
Yeah,
actually.
he's a little bit underrated, I think. But he's quality. He's good shit.
Like, I would say that he fucked up the whole second half of his career, and that might be why people don't put him in the conversation. But
Well, when he was like, you know, putting out all these albums, like really regardless or not, like whether or not like we think like the songs are good or bad, but I think that like I think his talent is there. I think it's always there.
On the real, if I had to pick like my favorite rappers of all time, DMX is 100% in that list. Like for me, he's one of the most influential people in music I've ever heard. I like DMX's voice. I mean, I didn't necessarily go through these 2 albums actually when I was younger, but pretty much everything since I've listened to, from fucking Then There Was X all the way through to Undisputed. I didn't really finish Redemption of the Beast, but that wasn't really a DMX album. So he was like, a label kind of just put out like a whole album without his permission, and it's not like an official thing.
Rude.
Because they had this music, and I don't remember the exact details of what went on, but like it apparently was a little bit not good. Anyway.
Interesting.
So like, but back at this point, he's like right out at the beginning, and like I hadn't listened to this album in full. I did have the Greatest Hits album, so there were a few songs on this project I was familiar with, but like I don't know, I just think everything about him is fucking interesting. And like what I learned is that his name didn't start as Darkman X, it became Darkman X after its origin, which is an ode to an instrument he used in the 1980s, the Oberheim DMX drum machine. And so he then became Darkman X once he, I guess, evolved his character a little bit. But that was some new shit that I learned about Earl. I just love that his name's Earl. You know, it's pretty great.
It's like Earl Grey, you know?
And,
have some tea.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought this cover, I remember being a kid and seeing this cover. I didn't hear the album, obviously, because I was young. But I remember seeing this cover and, like, I've never forgot this cover for the rest of my life. This is in my opinion, one of the most iconic album covers of all time. Like you see it once, and for the rest of your life, you will never forget DMX standing there dripping in blood in this white background, and it's just such a stark contrast. And then mix that with the title, Flesh of My Flood, Blood of My Blood, and he has almost this like preacher-esque kind of pose, and you're just like, that is a guy sacrificing himself almost for like, you know, like it is really amazing. Like, I just feel like both the combination of the title of this album it might be one of my favorites of all time. Like in terms of design of that cover and everything, like it's pretty distinct.
I mean, I agree with you. I think it is very distinct, but I don't know that it's like my favorite, like, you know, album cover of all time, because it's not really one that like I would care to like stare at for a long period of time. Probably, like, it is quite like disturbing looking a little bit. You know, this guy.
I'd wear a shirt with this.
Yeah, but okay, where would you wear that?
I mean, like if I was still in that band shirt phase or whatever, and
yeah, I mean, like, this is
let's say
totally.
anywhere
I mean, it definitely
but
makes a
work.
statement. I agree. Like, it definitely makes a statement. It says something. It's pretty powerful when you look at it, and like kind of like saddening at the same time. Like
the look in his fucking eyes.
He looks so sad and like lost and kind of, you know, a little bit at the same time, but he's kind of like angry looking at as well. You know, obviously, like as we know in his songs, he's kind of like
Both.
angry and sad. And so, yeah, I mean, it is a pretty like clear depiction of him, but I don't know. For me, like, I would want something prettier.
Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, I still think for the project, for everything, it might be one of the best album covers of all time in terms of design and concept and everything. I can't think of many that are like truly better than this one in terms of stickiness, all like the marketing things you would think of to consider it like a good design. This is one of the best.
And it's very powerful.
Anyway, there's 16 whole things to go through, so let's talk about my
blanks.
Wanna try my niggas? Some niggas just really do or die. My niggas will have you covered.
So apparently, like, the very first part of the song is a recycled bit from DMX's verse on the Jay-Z song Money Cash Hoes, which I haven't heard yet, so I should listen to that. But then apparently, like, Swizz Beatz I love what Swizz Beatz can do. He's just like DMX likes to say the name of this song a lot, as is evidence throughout his music. I mean, not just in this song, but throughout his whole career. And he was apparently like going around the studio mumbling and whatever. And so they started doing it as an intro, and then the beat kicked in, and then DMX just kept going. So it turned into this song where he starts off with like this superpower, just 'cause I shed blood for my, and then he's doing his like super loud DMX. Like, first, if you don't know DMX, he has one of the loudest voices ever, one of the deepest, most like fucking ferocious, powerful things. So he's like,
and he's very like, he makes a lot of noises and like he barks and he's very interesting.
I love it. I think he's got one of the most alive voices I've ever heard on a mic.
Well said.
And like, and then like the beat kicks in and every line is just some that you just don't want to try, some that's really ready to die, we'll have you cowards ready to cry, we'll fry, we'll rock. And he just kind of goes on through, and he just successfully manages to give you a sense of like the loyalty and the bond and the love he has for like the people that are surrounding him and the world that he's from. Like, it's harsh or whatever, but like he knows that he's got like these people, this team, this like
friendship,
brotherhood around him. And like, I wish anybody cared about me the way DMX cared. I'm sorry, but like, and the way DMX cares about his people, it's like this deep, unadulterated caring is like, it's just so powerful to me. And like the way that beat sounds, it's pretty fucking flaring. As far as an introduction goes, I think this is what I would want from this is how you start a DMX album. Just him showering love for his people while being loud, a couple growls, a lot of passion. It's a 4.5 on 5 for me. I think it's a fantastic start to this project.
Huh. All right. So I mean, like, I don't know. I felt like kind of troubled, I guess, by this song, but for like obvious reasons. So he's obviously screaming about his like friends and his crew or whatever, and it's just about that, and like that they're as bad as he is, and yet they all have each other's backs, and he loves them and whatever. So I mean, it's an all right song. It was it was fine. I don't know. It didn't like stand out to me, and it wasn't like, I'm sorry. But like, and I would obviously never sing this song, so like I feel like whatever. I felt a little weird about it.
It's a little tough to quote as a white person.
Yeah. So I'm giving this one a 3.75 because I'm not really allowed to sing it.
I don't care if I can sing it. I just want to hear DMX go on. Like, I think, look, I need to be said, this might be one of my favorite beats on the album. I'm not really one that knows, I don't describe beats well, but like the way Swizz, I believe it's Swizz on this one that like fucks with it, and the way that his like chemistry with DMX compared to say like DMX and other producers on this album, it is insane how good these two men like mesh when they get in the lab together. Like, it is, in my opinion, one of the greatest sounds ever is a DMX and Swizz Beatz combination. Like, I can't think of music I find almost more enjoyable than these two banging out bangers. Like, many of my favorite rap songs end up being those two men, in like my growing up era of discovering hip hop. Anyway, we can go on, I guess, to the next one then, is Bring Your Whole Crew.
All right, don't mind if I do.
You did, you would have bought the joint with you, kid. Now I'ma have to get you, kid, and split your wig.
All right, how do you feel about this one? I went first. I broke the podcast rule last time.
There's no rule.
It's a rule.
So I mean, this is basically, he's it's okay. It starts off very interesting. So it starts off with basically, I got blood on my hands and there's no remorse, and got blood on my dick because I fucked a corpse.
It is,
come on, like,
awesome, and it's not just that. It's everything about his energy and everything, and he's just like, fucking, I'm a nasty is like the next line. Like, he wants you to know that if you thought you were nasty, DMX fucks corpses and gets blood on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's It's pretty bad. But I mean, like, that's just how it starts. And like overall, like, he's basically talking about that he'll kill his enemies. But like, then his whole crew's gonna show up and like destroy you. So it doesn't really matter because, you're gonna die anyways. And so it's just basically a song about murdering. And, so it is like like, I don't really think that DMX is going around murdering everybody. It's just kind of what it is. So, I mean, DMX sounds very loud on this song again. Like, it is kind of like his thing where he definitely is like a forceful voice. It has a great beat, but again, it's a little, for me personally, I said it was a little bit too violent. But I mean, it's a fun song. It's good. I gave it a 4 on 5, and I'm looking at it now, and I'm surprised I didn't give it a higher grade. But I'm gonna stick with what I originally gave it because I'm not gonna do the math again.
Yeah. So this one's done by Peculiar Trackz in terms of the production, and I gotta give him credit on this track. It's fucking fire. It is like also as good as like a Swiss Beats DMX. Like I would have thought it was Swiss Beats until I looked and realized it was a different producer on this one, which I thought was cool. Now maybe I'm not like that like super aligned, so I'm just kind of talking a little bit based on what I know. But yeah, this song comes in and like, but they don't hear me though. But they don't hear me though. But they don't hear me though. And like you almost get the sense that like he's just trying to like get people to understand who he is, the type of person he is. And people are probably talking shit at this point. And you got to imagine, if we understand hip-hop as we do, a lot of people may have been having some bad things to say about Earl at this time, because when your debut album goes #1 like that,
haters gonna hate.
Something along those lines. And so I kind of feel like in the spirit of hip-hop, he's basically saying everything that anyone else is saying, but taking it up 3 notches, because DMX gives that little fucks and he's going to go more extreme. And I love it. I mean, I think I smiled when I read that first line, because at the same time, I can't think of many people going that far. But the fact that he's going that far, I'm a nasty right after. When you pass me, look me in my eyes. Tell me to my fucking face that you ready to die.
Yeesh.
Like, he's ready. Like he's basically calling anyone out at this point, and he's fucking intense, and he's a little bit crazy. So I mean, especially in hindsight, hearing this, it's like, damn, DMX is pretty like fuck. He was probably like,
well, he has some like mental illnesses, like though, for real though, doesn't he? Doesn't he have like schizophrenia or something?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Or like bipolar.
But like you just like, it's so intense, and the flow is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like it's just this constant, fast-paced, choppy, like DMX, in my opinion, is one of the nicest rhyme like flows, and his rhyme schemes are dope, and the way he can be so amazing in this type of song is like, I mean, I know a lot of other guys later on may have come at it, but I feel like DMX is still to this day one of my favorite fast rappers when he goes in like that, Even if like his lyrics aren't necessarily like, I'm looking at like, so what you want, help because you about to rest. When I'm fed, Red Cross couldn't clean up the mess, and a vest will do nothing but make you look a little thicker, because in the dark you ain't nothing but a little. And it's like, it's good. It's really good. Like, I'm giving it how I'm living it, so I'm swinging it. Red dot in your head because you're in mid-range. Red dot in your chest opens your rib cage. And it's just like fucking this constant barrage of intensity. And I can say that when I was younger, I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it in this type of stuff. I just was so hooked on the way his flow came in. And reading it, I realized that I love the intensity. It's just so...
Like, it almost doesn't matter what he's saying. It's just like that he's saying something. And it just sounds so good.
But like, it almost like when I look at what he's saying, he just adds this believable flair to it, where it just, if other people were to say the same things, it just pales in comparison to the delivery of DMX's, like the fear he invokes, the I don't give a fuck. I don't know that anybody doesn't give a fuck better than DMX doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So when he's coming at it with like, like now if your heart was as big as your mouth, you'd be real, but it's not. So I know you get knocked, you'll squeal like a bitch, because you is a bitch and always been a bitch, and you know how to do a bitch, we run up in a bitch. And I love it, right? Because it's just so blunt. It's not trying to be over the top. It's just basic shit. He's like, listen, I'm real, you're fake. the way you behave is like this. You're basically being like a woman, and you know what we do? We fuck women. So don't get fucked by, it's like, it's not like overly complicated shit, but it doesn't need to be. It's ferocious. It's just this nonstop barrage. Like, I'm out for blood with the Crips at war. How much shit can you talk with your lips on the floor? Like, fuck, man. Like, he's willing to kind of just show he's more ferocious than like anybody else. I don't fully get that line, but I love the wordplay on how he brings Bloods and Crips into the same line, and then just maybe it's because people are talking constantly about being affiliated with gangs, and he's like, "With all that shit you're talking," it's just DMX comes through. It's two insane verses here, and then comes my flaw with this song, and maybe some of the songs on this album. That chorus does not end, and it's Trackz or whatever, and he's on the chorus, and it just goes and it goes and it goes. I think it goes 4 or 5 times before like the song ends, and it's almost like a minute straight of it, and it's a pretty cool chorus. Like, I just love when I bring his whole crew. It's just a bigger piece of cake for me to chew a hole through, and I love it. Like, DMX is just like, the whole idea is like, bring everybody. I love it. I want that challenge. I'll wreck everybody because I'm Earl.
Yeah.
I just like to think that anyway, I like the name Earl. Either way, I thought this was another great one to me. It's a 4.5 on 5. It's pretty savage. I'll give you that. But I think that's part of the charm of it. It's like he sells savage in a way that makes savage sound good.
Yeah.
And so.
Let's check out Pac Man.
Just like Eminem's playing.
Man, what's up with this Pac Man shit? This is my hood, man. This is my hood. 5 years, man. Just got out.
How do you feel about this skit?
I mean, just by the name, I thought it was going to be about Tupac. Like, I thought it was like, I don't know why. I just thought that. But it's basically just like two guys arguing, and basically just about like DMX like runs his hood, and that's pretty much it. It's only like 57 seconds, so it's not like...
It's like they go up and see some guy in a Pac Man shirt sitting there, and they're like, yo, what are you doing trying to make some money here? This is our turf. Get the fuck out, kind of. And he's like, nah, I always been here. And they're like, we grew up over there. And then what you gonna do?
Yeah.
And what you gonna do? And then they shoot him, and that's what they're gonna do.
Yep.
Rough Riders. I don't know. I hated it. I gave it a 3. I mean, it's totally fine. It is one of the... It's just boring. Like, to me, there's no charm in it. It's
like,
not
You're like,
funny.
wait, what's going on?
It doesn't... I mean, I guess if I had a hood in a corner, I would maybe empathize more with the, like, it's my turf type thing, but I don't really get it. I mean, if you guys want to enlighten me, go ahead, but I just think of all the skits of this nature, this is the blindest one I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best. I give it a 3.5.
Yeah, it's whatever. I could live, but ain't no way you can stop my flow.
All right.
Your niggas must be out your mind. I don't.
This one we is back to Swizz beats. The beat is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
that
pretty good.
Hook,
Pretty
it's
solid.
fucking fire. But I could not get into the verses. I don't know why. I tried, and there's a couple of songs where this happened to me. And okay, look, I'm gonna be candid with y'all. On my first listen to this, I didn't really like it that much because it felt a little bit to me like the B-sides version of His Darker Hell Is Hot going through this project.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. It's not like his biggest hits, but it is like a consistent...
Agreed. But then as I listened to it more, it really did grow on me. And I really did come to appreciate it, except for a few tracks. And there's no good reason why, except that it's kind of slowish. It's kind of like there's nothing crazy that really happens on this song. And the hook, it's nice. It really is. I really think his voice. I think the hook is awesome. Like when I don't say nice sarcastically, I mean it's really like. Ain't no way you're good. And he has that he has like a really good voice when he gets into his like proper singing groove.
Yeah.
And that beat, I bump it. But then, what the fuck is you pressing me for? I saw more ass than a hoe and was stressing you raw. If I was testing your jaw, maybe you would respect me. But you can't respect me because you don't even know me. Check me. So thematically, it's not even bad, and the bars aren't even bad. But there's something about the way he delivered the verses on this track that I had a lot of trouble really getting into.
Okay, that's fair.
As a result, I have a little bit less to say about it. I mean, this is about his ascent, about how he's kind of rising up. He's got haters and such. I like it when he says stuff like, have you forgotten what it means when a dog shows his teeth? Let me break it down for you. He's about to attack you. Arf! You still standing here? You might want me to smack you. Arf! Arf! I mean, I love that shit.
His like dog noises are pretty good. Like they sound like legit.
But yeah, I mean, like, I wanted to like it more. I feel like DMX is one of those guys where I totally want to stand up on and like love everything he does, but I don't know. I like a lot more songs on this album more. I just like most of his songs more than this one. And I
So what'd you give it?
I give it a 3.75.
Ooh.
It's okay. It just I do want to give him some props on the give it to it, just how they give it to me. Hit him with a rhyme because I'm an MC. Been a lot of places, won't see. That's why I'm at a level y'all won't be. And I like that because he's keeping it kind of pure. He's keeping it about the rhymes. He's not like trying to incite violence or anything. He's just that much better than you. And it's because he's been able to travel and lighten his mind and like really achieve some dope ass shit. And I love the energy he puts on it. I don't know. Anyway, go on. How did you feel about it?
I thought it was good. Basically just him saying like that no one's gonna stop him, and like his rap, he's gonna like achieve and win and whatever. And like even if you try to like stop him, like he's gonna like destroy you. And that's, again, we've heard this before with other rappers, so it's a common theme that they like to sing about. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. I gave it a 4.25.
That's fair. So yeah, we don't give a fuck.
Not one.
You know how shit get around.
Used to be my dog, you was in my left.
I would like to start this one off by saying that on Spotify, it says Jadakiss. I don't know if it says Jadakiss on your Spotify. I would really like it if you guys could check and let me know if you also see Jadakiss.
I imagine that everybody sees the same
I know
thing.
because there's Canada, maybe like in the States, it's like a different like layout, like Netflix or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But either way, it says Jadakiss. It's not Jadakiss because that's not a thing. I even checked to see if there was a rapper called Jadakiss. I knew it was Jadakiss, but just to see if there was somebody. Nope, nobody's called Jadakiss either that I've heard of.
So the name's free, folks.
So yeah, Jadakiss does this hook, and then DMX is there, and then Styles P, it does the middle thing. So we got like 2/3 of the locks up on this one. Mm-hmm. We need to just, used to be my dog, you was in my left titty. I've never heard anybody describe how somebody's up in your heart like that before. Big props to Jadakiss. I like it when I hear ways of expressing an idea that I've absolutely never heard before, and that was not what I was expecting to hear. And I kind of giggled the first time I heard it. I'm not going to lie. But then the more he said it, the more I'm like, that's a good fucking line, Scream, ride or die. I thought you would ride with me. And apparently this one's a little bit of a jab at a certain guy.
Well, I was thinking that, it had to be like maybe that's why they put Jadakiss, because it is someone that was obviously betraying them, like Judah. I
mean, I don't know if that was that deep. I think it was somebody hit a typo when they uploaded it.
Maybe.
But this is, I believe the target's Ja Rule is who they're going at on this one. And DMX wanted to be buddies with him, and I don't really know anything about their beef. So.
And who doesn't want to be buddies with DMX?
Ja Rule.
Rude.
But Murder Inc. doesn't. They have a good track record for picking beefs with people I like more than Murder Inc. So yeah, did you like this one?
Yeah, I thought it was a good song. I recognize Styles P from a lyrical breakdown that I did of one of his songs. So I thought, I already was like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. And so I think this song is basically just about people who will screw you over, and that DMX and his crew will take people like that out. He's not going to allow for any of those shenanigans to happen on his turf. And he's talking more about like betrayers and like things like that. And he is kind of like, he relates back to like Christianity a lot in like his lyrics, and he does, as I've mentioned before, he does become like a preacher later on in his life. And I don't think he is now, or maybe he's still rapping and preaching. I don't know. You tell me, folks.
He's in jail for tax evasion.
Or
at the
he's in
moment.
jail, whatever. Maybe he's a preacher in jail.
And he's supposed to get out maybe 6 months from now. I don't know. And then he's on supervised parole for the next 3 years. So we still might get that album, people. It might be coming.
Thinking of you, Earl. So yeah, I mean, it's just basically a song about don't betray people, and it was good. I liked it. I gave it a 4.25.
What I like about this is how personal it was, but how non-direct it was. Like, you knew he was talking about somebody in particular. Like, you knew Earl had his heart broke when he came into the studio on this one, you know?
Just awful.
When it rained, get wet, so stay dry. Don't cross me. I can peep a snake eye. You lost me like your shadow in the dark. That's a great line, actually. I didn't even think of that. Because, you know, when you turn the lights out, your shadow Anyway, shut up.
Yeah, I know that.
Fucked around and forced me to hit the shadow with the spark, which is clever, right? Because he's now illuminating the guy's skeletons and shit, you know, etc., making the pond just a little bit stronger and how good the lines is. But that's what I like about this one. I feel like it's a lot more cohesive and a little less like all over the place. Like, this is like a personal barrage, you know, of like he had something to say, and it's almost like storytelling-esque in the way he's attacking at this person, you know? Blew your shit apart, now it's two halves of one. Look, I said after a few laughs dumb, stupid is as stupid does, cocksucker what? And look, being stupid does get you shot, sucker. You know, and he's really like going in with it. And like his flow has that intensity again. I feel like I'm a lot more interested in this track. Like, it's a lot cooler, etc. And I know that Chris and I talked about Styles P's G-Host album that came out real recently. I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced Ghost, but it said G-Host. So like, and then I like how he's just like, you know what, X? Fuck them. They're not your dogs. Treat them like them cats, you know, like they're not cool people because dogs are cool people. I like how.
But you should also treat cats with kindness.
See, like, I'm a dog person at the end of the day, and I wonder how much of my love for dogs over cats actually stems from DMX. Like, there might be a correlation of me liking dogs and me liking DMX. You don't want to murder, get it, Murder Inc. I don't know, but you don't want to murder
that's a bit of a stretch.
When you blow him. He using your style that make him your child. I don't know if it's that big of a stretch. I think it was a subliminal because if you actually listen to Ja Rule's like flow, it's another deep voiced kind of. I mean, it's like if DMX wrote love songs, you have Ja Rule. Is what I is like they're similar except DMX
and then we'll have like Ashanti
like,
show up and.
Like laced with authenticity when you hear him, and I never felt that from a Ja Rule record. I do remember hating the murder and all the songs when I was young.
Like, I get that like Ja Rule is like compared to like DMX, like they do have like similar
in terms of like
voices
and even like flows and shit, you know. And I'm anyway, he goes through and. Then DMX comes back in with the third verse. You know, there was always something there. I just couldn't touch it. It was something that would hurt me. So said, fuck it. I let it slide. I laughed, choked, let it ride. Now that you done killed it, I'm glad that it died. You know, like you could sense something was off in the relationship, etc. And then that guy ended it. And he's like, thank God you took this burden off of me. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like it's a good track. Like, you really feel for it. Like, you honestly... He manages to tap into your empathy and, like, make you go, damn, DMX, he played you dirty. I'm on yours. Like, you know, that's the kind of feelings I had listening to this song.
Yeah.
And then even, like, Jadakiss is just ferocity on the hook, the way he just, like, ties it all together. It starts off strong. Like, it starts off and you know somebody betrayed somebody here. And that's what it really came down to. And, like, anyway. I gave us also a 4.25. It's a pretty good track. I mean, I really enjoy listening to it. The beat is not my favorite on the album. And I think with like a stronger beat, I would definitely feel more towards this one. But end of the day, keep your shit the hardest. Boop.
When I got my guard down, so I keep 'em up. Not often when I open, I can feel.
How do you feel about your poop? Is it the hardest?
If your poop is the hardest, you're doing something wrong, folks. Go eat some shredded apple. If you're that constipated. Anyways, so it's basically just a song about staying hard, staying gangster, you know, and he'll kill you. He talks about that. Like, it's, you know, he's keeping his shit the hardest, I guess. You know, it's a really decent song. It's very catchy. It's very violent. But really, like in like his lyrics, I didn't find there was anything prolific about it. There wasn't anything that really was like, whoa, like wow, what is like outstanding like line that was. Yeah, I mean that's what I took away from it. I liked it. Like I said, it was catchy. I give it another 4.25.
I feel like a bit of an asshole for my earlier Swizz Beatz DMX team up thing and like my grandiose statement, because this is the second one of those two where I'm a little bit like something's just not right on like the slower end of it,
But like it makes you like it is catchy and it makes you want to like rock your head.
It's vapid catchy, like you put it out, like
there's nothing prolific. There's nothing that's.
I think my biggest grievance with this track isn't that the beat's actually really fucking nice. Yeah. I love the beat. Mm-hmm. The chorus is a little bit kind of boring to me, like, and there's a reason for it. It sounds to me like Earl's nose is blocked the entire way through this song. Like he had a real stuffy nose or he did a shit ton of blow or something. And like, you can just like, it just like every other song he sounds clear. And this one, it just sounds like he's recording the whole thing like this. And as he tries to breathe in, it sounds like he has like that kind of like
nasally sound.
And I couldn't shake it. Now, maybe it's all in my head and maybe I'm completely wrong. But like, it was just a little bit something like maybe it's the mixing. I don't know. This is another one that I had a lot of trouble like really getting into, even though I love the beat. And in theory, it's got all the dynamics of a track that I'm supposed to like. But I feel like the heart wasn't here on Earl's part. Like, I mean, I want Monopoly money, but I ain't even halfway there. I love the honesty because doing dirt, got to take the back way there. I love the fact that it's like past there and like all the words are right, but what it is, the biz is dirty. You'll get rich, but life expectancy is about 30. And I love that because, again, content-wise, it's interesting. Like the idea that something like, you're going to die by 30 in this industry because of the fucking party lifestyle of drugs and shit and everything that's getting like put on you is it's freaking cool. Like place of business, the highways have been up for 4 days on parole with warrants that'll send me back to Rahway. I get caught, crushed, and it's just kind of like, again, contextualizing his life and the kind of hellish environment that he's stuck in, the pressure that's on his mind, like, if you ain't in it with me, then you in my way. But either or, you will respect me and leave Tech 9 and leave it for dude. The realest you're going to feel is when you face your death. And I'm feeling like he's been a little bit harder on this album and a little bit more, like, I don't feel like the intensity's there in his delivery on this one. And I think a lot of my love for DMX is the way he raps more than what he says, as we may have mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. And so maybe I'm missing it. Maybe this is like a fucking banger in your mind. And if that's the case, I'm really sorry if I offended you with my nonchalant kind of explanation. I don't know. I gave this one another 3.75. It's another one that has a really long outro. I don't like the hook that much. Like, at least on the other one, I love the hook, Yeah. This one, it's like, the beat's that much better, though, because the beat's fucking cool. So it's hard. I don't know.
Let's check out the next song coming from featuring my girl Mary J. Blige. I don't know where would I go. Gotta keep it real with me.
DMX is fucking back on this one. I gotta start out by that. Like, that's the energy I wanted. He's right back in. Mm-hmm. That beat's so fucking cool to listen to. I don't think Mary brought it on this. I'm gonna start this out by saying that. Ooh. I do not think, like, I feel like she sounds okay, but I can't say that she sounds great, in my opinion. It's like, I don't know where I'm coming from. And it just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a bit of a hater tonight, and I'm not trying to be. Because Earl sounds fucking great, and that beat is really fucking cool.
I liked Mary on this one. I thought it was nice. I mean, like, she's, like, when you think about it, like, she's kind of, like, in my mind, I obviously think of her, like, with, she kind of matches this, like, lovely voice. And I just imagine her being, like, this lovely girl, and she's, like, super sweet. And, yeah, she just hangs out with, like, a bunch of gangsters, like, really. And, like, she sings with, like, all these, like, really tough guys and whatever. And she keeps, like, and she's still relevant today. She's still singing with, like, rappers. So she's, like, really involved in, like, the whole scene and, like, the whole rap industry. And she's very, like, obviously, like, pro, black rights and things like that as well. I mean, which is great. She's great. So yeah, I mean, I like this one. I mean, he doesn't really want to fight or be bad, but like he's kind of just saying like if you start something, like he's not, scared to like do what needs to, be done to like move on to like the next, to just move on, I guess. And like he's just trying to be like a good guy, and essentially he is, like that's what he is. And he talks about that he had a bunch of sisters, and that he kind of felt like the only guy in like the house, and so like him and like his like dog became like BFFs, and which kind of like carries throughout I mean more than one of his albums. That's what I think he obviously relates to, being a dog and like having that loyalty and that friendship, a boy and his dog, right? Like it's just it is a very sweet thing, and it obviously the dog becomes your best friend, and he's obviously like he's serious and he's gonna kill it, and it was more like real struggles. It felt more personal and nicer. I like this one. I gave it a 4.5 on 5.
So yeah, I mean, as far as like the rhymes go, and this is my favorite kind of DMX subject matter, where he goes on about that inner conflict like within him, right? Like places I've been, things that I've seen, what you call a nightmare, or what I have as a dream. As bad as it may seem, I know it's only going to get worse. I'm like, you just don't hear that, right? Like he's already in
he's trying to be good, but it's just so difficult.
But like in the sense of his environment, like all you hear is this like optimism, like things are gonna get better, things are gonna improve, things are gonna get cool. And here DMX is like, I already been through hell, and I know it's still gonna get worse. And it's like,
great.
That is a tormented soul. That is like some honesty and some like real shit that like I crave that kind of stuff. I think it's amazing, like not amazing that he went through it, but like.
Well, he's obviously still going through it. Like,
yeah,
like
absolutely.
He's in jail.
And like, but the passion and everything in his delivery, but bad as that may seem, I know something like love or a slug, which am I going to get first? Like, that's a serious thing. Is he going to get the respect and love of people, or is he going to fucking die from the life that he's living, My journey's been a rough one. I'm not sure when it begins, but by the way it's looking, I kind of know where it's going to end. And he's in jail right now, which I suppose is one of those options he felt may happen to him in this. So it's crazy to look at the self-fulfilling prophecy of his life, all things considered.
Unfortunately.
And then like he really comes through this like the rest of this song, and like as the verses go on, like the second verse, he's like, I will spend mad time in one spot plotting my next move, trying to figure out why it is that X do what X do. And even just that, right? Like because he's an addict and he's kind of got a crazed personality, and he probably gets real impulsive and does some crazy shit, and then has to go home after almost and really consider his actions and try to figure out why he is this type of person. And just the honesty in that, the vulnerability and the way he puts himself out there, I fucking love it,
Yeah.
And I love the fact that after that dog bit, he kind of shows that there's like two sides to him. There's this dark and like crazy side, and I feel like that's what everyone sees, this wild out kid.
But then you forget that he's, sweet and innocent.
Like just trying to grow and become a better person. And I feel like DMX is like the caricature of so many people out there that don't get the attention and love that they deserve. But like Earl went ahead and creates art like this that just blows my fucking mind, I hate Mary's laugh, that ha 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 ha. And I was like, okay. I feel the ghost from within coming back to haunt me. Stay loving my peoples, even though they don't want me. When I was bad, I was forgotten, like I was dead and rotten. And it's just like, damn, man. Like, you got to imagine how many people just, like, abandon, like, a drugged-out DMX lying there fucking strung out at, like, the lowest of his lows. And he still remembers all this now that, like, his life is coming into fruition and all this other shit's happening. Because I guess you got to imagine this transition into superstardom must have been, like, sudden and, like, a huge fucking change in his life,
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard stories that at the height of his career, he would just turn down $2 to $3 million gigs because he didn't feel like doing it. I just wanted to throw that anecdote in. Like, that's some crazy shit, all things considered. I like this. I like everything about DMX. I like what Mr. P Killer Trackz did on this beat, but I'm not a big fan of the hook, so I give it a 4. But it is everything I want from Earl. Like, I feel like from this point on, the album
You're just hating on Mary.
No, but I feel like the rest of the album from here, like, for me, it's like a step up. It just keeps getting better. Like, all of my favorite songs come on the second half of this project because we are getting up to that halfway point. I'm okay with moving on. If you are,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Can't help but get strung, cause the game is too strong. I like them greedy, black like Edie.
I can totally see why Bonnie and other people in 2018 may not feel that this is the most aged well song. I'm going to throw it out there. I don't give a shit. When I said that Swizz Beatz and DMX have chemistry, it fucking comes alive here in my mind. Like, that, like, just the way it starts. Love my, you know, because he does. Mm-hmm. But where's my, he's like, okay, I'm done with them. I'm ready to talk about my women now, who I also love. And if you go on Genius, so if there's this one comment on that part, this annotation, if there's an, anyway, you should just go on Genius and read this dude's annotation. He just puts this summary of how, like, this is the essence of, like, fucking DMX in a nutshell, is this little part. And the way he put it is cool. I'll say it, bear it for you, because there's a lot more to talk about. But this hook is, in my opinion, just another great example of the essence of DMX. It's all good. It's all right. Fuck all day. Fuck all night. Call my bitches, because wherever I go, y'all my bitches. And it's just like, what the hell just happened to the flow? It just got so fucked up. It just got, but it works. And it's amazing. And this is why I think DMX has one of the most ridiculous flows, because he can do shit like that in theory breaks rules of music. But at the end of the day,
it's all good.
It sounds amazing, and it makes it more alive and dynamic. And this is this fast-paced, erratic adventure as he goes on and tells you about his sex life all over. Yo, chickens is good for plucking, so I'm sticking, and bitches fucking get him tricking while they suck and give him dick and they be bugging. Along the way, though, he lets you know that he's going to take money from the ladies. He lets you know that he doesn't care to call these people back, and he knows his dick's magical because when he's done, they believe him when he's going to come back. There's a couple of, like, fucking, I think I just cracked the fuck up. I got white bitches saying it's a black thing because I leave that hoe with no dough and plenty of back pain. I'm just like, that's hilarious. Like, all things considered. Like, he's like, I fuck her, I take her money, and I fucked her so good, she got back pain the next day and shit, so you got magic dick and shit. And he just, or like, and honeys can't help but get strong because the game is too strong. I like him greedy, black like Edie, eyes beady, willing to give to the needy. And I'm like, DMX, man, you just keep saying great shit. It's just like line after fucking line of player swag. Like,
yeah.
DMX is the definition of a guy who gives no fucks in this song, will say whatever to get laid. He knows he's baller. He knows he's got game. He knows that wherever he goes, women are down. They know. They're okay. They're handing him money for his dick. And that is the difference between, I think, DMX and a lot of, in my opinion, when you're looking at pimping in the rap game, there is a difference between the modern day version where the men pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to the women.
He's not a pimp.
No, but like pimping is a mentality, right? In the modern sense.
He's like a player.
But he literally gets money out of the situation. That's called pimping. That's what I'm trying to say. So you have DMX.
But he never claims to be like a pimp, though, right?
No, but what I'm trying to say is DMX is embodying the spirit of like that type of real, knows what he's doing with the situation. He takes the money at the end of the day. And that's I think the big difference. Modern rappers spend hundreds of thousands of dollars paying women that are gorgeous to be around them, thinking that makes them fly. Mm-hmm. DMX might have $2 million in the bank and is still somehow leaving the girl's house with some money. Mm-hmm. You know, like he's basically robbing these chicks and shit.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna retract the pimping part. I think he's just robbing them. I think because I believe from the last album, DMX is a robber.
I think that they're trying to like. I don't think that he's like trying to like take money from them. I think that they're offering him like all these things, and they're like, "Oh, come over here, and like I'll pay for dinner. I'll do this," and like I think they're spending money on him.
That's pimping.
That's a date.
Listen, in an era
that's a date,
where the social obligation has like the man required to do all this shit, if you can get a girl down to buy you flowers on Valentine's Day, you're a lucky person. I'm just throwing it out there. And just that type of shit. If she's spending on you, that's more impressive to me.
See? He's
than
trying,
the other way around.
These girls are trying to impress him. And so, okay, what I was saying is that he is an attractive fellow, and he keeps himself in shape, and he looks good, and he's sounds kind of scary and tough, and girls are attracted to bad boys. So I get the whole thing, and he's all covered with blood, and you just want to be like, oh, let me just wipe that off for you, or whatever. And
Come on, he's got him committing their first crimes. Now she's sucking dick for the first time, and it ain't no secret about how I freak it when they sleep. Didn't know how I peeped it, then creeped it. That's how I know this must be the shit. I tell them bitches I'll be back, and they believe that shit.
boy, they're young and naive. These girls. It's what it sounds like he's talking about.
And they're giving him stuff. I mean, look, ethically speaking, feel whatever you want about this track. I get it. I mean, that's secondary to me at this point on this track. This track,
we have to put on our 1998 brains.
I mean, it's still not that different than some of the sound today. No. Now what's different is DMX would be in theory fucking your girlfriend the whole way through, and that would be the big difference. No, that flow is ridiculous. That beat is ridiculous. That hook is ridiculous. That subject matter is a little questionable.
It's ridiculous.
4.5 on 5. This is a great fucking song in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, he loves his homies, he loves his ladies, he's a player, and all the girls are his girls, and that's pretty much it. So I give it a 4.25. It's a good song though, as much as it's sexist, it's still a great song.
Let's talk about Marilyn Manson and DMX. The
Omen.
So this one starts off with this woman sobbing, and she knows death is coming, and she fears it's gonna take her child, and then it does. And he gets excited when he sees her kid, and then the kid dies.
Yep.
And then DMX starts barking, as he does, and then we get Damien Light. That's what this song is. I like it. It is a little bit less good than Damien, but it is a pretty okay sequel because if we recall, DMX is shot up at the end of Damien.
Which there is a lyrical breakdown, which you can see somewhere.
Hopefully I remember to put it there. You can check it on the channel. Just type in DMX and Damien and
there you
that
go.
suit. But so it comes in and DMX is it starts off with Damien talking. And he just, you still right here, shorty. Told you I got you. The way I scooped you and then shot you, I'm going to hold you down. And I mean that, And then you have DMX now kind of questioning this relationship with the devil. And he's like, but every time you beef with I end up having to kill. And then he's like, it ain't like that. Forget about those two, etc. And then you have him kind of arguing, and he doesn't want to let the devil in, and he kind of says no, etc., etc., and he holds out, and everything seems promising. DMX is resisting in the first verse, right? And then the first time in history that Marilyn Manson collaborated with a rapper, followed up the following year, I believe, or 2 years later with his "The Way I Am" remix. But you have Marilyn Manson kind of interpolating the original chorus with the snake, the rat, the cat, and the dog. How you gonna live when you're in the fog? But with his Manson voice, the snake, the rat. I can't do a proper Manson voice, but that voice he has. And for me, this was a treat. Yeah. Honestly, it's cool. It is he's the right kind of eerie, anti-religious motherfucker to contrast, to be the devil role. To be against DMX. It is perfect because I believe he's just on Antichrist Superstar.
Do you know where
at this
Marilyn
point.
Manson's from? I feel like maybe they're from the same place.
I don't think he's from New York. I think he's from the States, but I don't think he's from New York. I might be wrong.
Okay.
I don't know where Brian's from. His name is Brian, by the way.
Good old Brian.
Earl and Brian here.
When you think about it, it doesn't sound so scary after all.
But yeah, and then in the second verse, it turns out that DMX is I'm done. I'm fucking done with this dude. And he's feeling strong and shit. But then his cousin gets shot and killed. Or shot and not killed. I don't remember. And then he realizes revenge. It is the police just killed his cousin underneath the projects. And so now he's got to get revenge. And he's fucking freaking out. And then the devil kind of creeps in. And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't got no choice in the matter. They killed my peoples and I want to see him dead. I didn't realize it was the police until just now. So yeah, it's the police he's going after. That's what I'm talking about. We ain't on no kid shit. And I'm going to use the same gun that you killed him 2 kids with. Is that hard to live with? And then DMX is like, nah, But like you can hear like this anxiety in that nah. Like this isn't something he wants to do. He just knows he has to do. And what you want from me, I'll tell you later. You know, like he's not. So he's agreeing to it.
Yeah.
And then Marilyn Manson comes in, and then apparently they set off a bomb down in Central, wherever. Like fucking crazy shit that he's now done. You know, like what the fuck have I got myself into? This mentalist, like get the fuck out of here. And he starts to like bounce and run away. But the devil's like, where are you going? Nah, 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 nah. You totally. But in this one, it's like he gets some like kind of devil voices a few away. It's a little bit more like menacing than in the first song where it was like, hey, I'm your homie. I'm going to lead you astray. Here it's like, I got your soul, motherfucker.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't
like the
stop me.
real devil is coming out of like Damien. Like,
Yeah.
he's less of like a person and more of like becoming a monster.
And then like, you know, he, if I'm not mistaken, DMX just like kind of like tries to pray a little bit. And then like, you know, he gets, you sold your soul when you didn't say no. So that, now give me what you owe. Fuck, were you thinking? Ain't shit for free. Ain't a motherfucker you know can defeat me. And then who can defeat the devil? Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned, and with your help I know the devil won't win. And you got to give him credit for the way he's ending that, right? Because this is kind of the inner conflict that, like, I grew up in a Christian kind of background. This is how I would interpret, like, if I were to go through inner conflicts. It's kind of like the devil versus God, a little angel and devil on his shoulder. I read a couple of books when I was young that kind of really went into that shit. But there's almost like this war of angels and demons fighting for your soul. And I like the fact that even after blowing up a bunch of cops and shit, he knows that through God's love he can find salvation. And that's how he chooses to end the song. And then Marilyn Manson does his little bridge with kill, kill, kill. And then
Kill,
take
kill,
you
kill.
on your way to hell. We're going to do it. Well, etc. And then literally, this is Marilyn Manson, DMX, Rough Riders. This is, and it's just so like, it's just so weirdly done, but cool because it's almost a hybrid of what you would expect on a Manson project from that end a little bit.
Okay.
And I give it a 4.25. This is a cool song. Like it's pretty cool. I like Damien more. I like this as a sequel, and I know there's a third one. And I bet listening to all three back to back is a treat. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much summed it up basically. You know, we have like the devil voice that DMX is kind of like famous for or known for, kind of at this point. You know, and it starts off with, like you said, the devil is taking kind of like this person away from like their mother. And I think like DMX is obviously like regretting his choice a little bit and like doesn't want to like hang out with Damien anymore and doesn't want to kill anybody else for him. And then, yeah, like you said, you know, DMX is like calling out, you know, basically for God and for God's help in with getting rid of the devil because he doesn't want them there anymore. You know, he's regretting it. Obviously, he doesn't want to, you know, he wants to be a better person. So I think that's kind of what he's saying here as well. It's a good song. You know, he's kind of admitting that he needs some help, which is, you know, obviously a good thing, especially if he's like an addict or he's like having mental issues or whatever else. And Marilyn Manson on the hook is like fitting like to the T. It's very cool. It sounds like absolutely like it should be there. Like a great collab. I agree. I'm not like hugely into Marilyn Manson or anything, but you know,
It's a mistake.
I mean, I just have never listened to like his songs or like not his songs. I've never listened to like an album of his. Probably my mom would have been like not wanting me to do that.
To give Marilyn Manson his
but
credit,
like every song I've ever heard of his is quality. Like
but,
it's good.
He does
And he's a
concept.
smart guy.
He does like concept albums pretty strongly, or at least at this era, his concept albums were pretty next level.
And like I've seen him like in discussions and stuff, and he's smart. So I mean, as a person, I think he's pretty cool. I don't have a huge knowledge of his music, but anyways, like I said, it seemed very fitting on this song. I also gave it a 4.25.
All right, DMX is slipping. He's falling, and he can't get up.
True.
Chill. Group homes and institutions. Prepare my for jail. They put me in a situation for.
Like, I don't know how to like talk about this and give it justice. I don't think there's anything I can say I can talk about how good this song is. Like, 5.
Yeah.
Let's just start off. Like, there's something about the way this man talks about redemption and like his vulnerability and his desire to like become better in light of his things that just makes, I think it just makes me feel like all of the problems I might be dealing with or my own battles are just winnable. And that's what this song does to me more than anything else. It just makes me think that the problems in my life are shit I can handle. And that at the end of the day, if Earl can do it, so can I. And I know that sounds a bit corny.
No, I mean that's what music does, right? I mean, if it like hits you in your soul, then I think that's what it's supposed to do.
But like, see, to live is to suffer, but to survive, well, that's to find meaning in the suffering. I couldn't say it better myself. In fact, I didn't know how to articulate that until I read it, until DMX told it to me. And I'm like, that's some truth, man. And that is kind of a little bit how it is in at least the social class I understand. And that chorus, just, I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. But then he changes it. Hey, I'm slipping, I'm falling, I gots to get up, get me back on my feet so I can tear shit up. And you're like, you can't keep him down. And you know what? He might be in jail, but that man has had so many bounce backs and shit that like you just keep rooting for him. He is an incredible like interesting person, and it's just hearing this vulnerability makes me want to care about him, even though I know he might do some stupid things. And then it makes me want to be that vulnerable so I can get the same reaction out of people and shit. Because man, he's like fucking, his honesty is just so deep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about this one?
I mean, he's obviously, basically, he's just like, he's trying to do good. He's trying to be better, but he's slipping, obviously. He's failing. He's not accomplishing what he's setting out to do. He's, like you said, in the previous song, we have like him hanging out with the devil and he's regretting like his choices. And I think that is like a good, this is a great follow-up song for that kind of like, he's obviously talking about a struggle.
Oh, good point.
And, he's talking about his life and his struggles that he's had. And he talks about, when he was a kid with his like, best friend, the dog, like that was like who he had. That was the only, person that he could really confide in and like trust. And like, that was, his best friend. And so he also talks kind of about that he's kind of his own worst enemy sometimes. Like some of the things that he says or does is obviously like maybe he thinks too quickly or he acts too quickly and, he doesn't really think about his actions and then he regrets his choices, after they're already done. And I think that that's, a lot of people have that issue where they're not really sure how to get out of that struggle, but they're not looking inwards. And like, that kind of issue is like stopping him from making more music and he feels like he's kind of hit rock bottom. And I think he talks about that he now has a kid and, he wants to do better. And like his kid is his inspiration to be a good father and a role model and, all those things that, a dad needs to be. So as much as like this song sounds like very sad and like distressed and like, he's not, maybe comfortable, it still comes across as like a positive song and that there is like a strong, powerful message to like keep pursuing, you can get there even though it's like difficult and like don't give up. So, it's like I said, it's a 5. It's a great song.
Yeah, like it starts off like I've been through mad different phases like mazes to find my way and I know that happy days are not far away. If I'm strong enough and if I live long enough to see my kids doing something more constructive with their time than bids. So he's got this motivation of his children and he's like acknowledging that his life has gone through different phases and that he maybe isn't in that place and he maybe has some dark things to go through, but like happiness and what he's looking for isn't, that far away, as you said. And he kind of describes like how he felt the need to like split out. He had some problems with his mom. He like went out and got into maybe some of the negative situations and he's going too fast. When at last PO I couldn't tell. Group homes and institutions prepare mass for jail. They put me in a situation forcing me to be a man when I was just learning to stand without a helping hand. And it's like, okay, so he had like his education comes more from like institution and the streets and some of this more dark type of shit, but like damn, was it my fault? Something I did to make my father leave his first kid at 7 doing my first bid. And you're just like, shit, like that feeling of like his dad leaving was like just a punishment that condemned him in the same kind of way as jail and everything else. And like, what did he do wrong? What did he do to cause this? And
he didn't have a good, father figure or role model. And like, that's what I think that he's kind of looking back and he's like, wait a second, I'm not being a good role model for my kids. And I think that that's where he wants to like be better.
Yeah. And then, he gets back on the scene at 14 with a scheme to get more cream than I'd ever seen in a dream. And then he kind of like, he's living high, and he's like, he never gave a fuck much about his dogs and shit, and that's my motherfucker. I'd offer my last, just another headed nowhere fast. And it's like, get the sense that he's caught up in this life, or maybe his empathy game is not strong and it's not on point. And then in verse 2, you know, this is where it gets worse. You know, he's like saying, like, if you thought it was bad then, the story's not quite older. And then he gets older, he's a little bit more jaded and shit. But really, it's, used to have a puff at my L in the morning before I could fly. Ate something, a couple of 40s made me hate something. I did some coke, now I'm ready to take something. Just to start his day, he's got to get high, smoke a joint or whatever, a blunt. I think an L's a blunt. And then he ate some food or whatever. Got some alcohol up in his system. Now he's ready for some coke. Now he's ready to fucking go. He's gonna go jack some people and like rob some motherfuckers. And he's just kind of walking you through, like, he needed all of these chemicals and shit just to be a person, just to like start his fucking day and shit. And then 3 years later, showing signs of stress. Don't keep my hair cut or give a fuck how I dressed. I'm possessed by the darker side, living the cruddy life. Shit, this kept with a bloody knife. Want to make records, but I'm fucking it up. I'm slipping. I'm falling. I can't get up. I don't know that I've heard a lot of lyrics more powerful than that in terms of just this honest brokenness. Like, sure, M can write a song about how he overdosed and woke up in a hospital and it's this big dramatic thing on Revival, but like, this is just from the depths of despair of telling you the unfortunate course, how it goes from, yeah, I'm in control, to I don't even give a fuck what my hair looks like because I don't even care anymore, to all of that. And then in the third verse, he's hit rock bottom, talking shit like, damn, look how that rock got him. Because, you know,
Crack rock.
He's into that shit a little bit, and it kind of fucked him up. Open like a window, no more endo. Look at a video, saying to myself, that could have been you. So you just got to imagine, like, he's now sitting there cracked out of his mind in the darkest part of his world, looking at the TV, seeing music videos and shit, and recognizing, like, that could be me. And instead, I'm sitting here, like, wasting shit, you know? And then, you know, he looks at him and realizes his kid, and that means no more getting high, drinking 40s. The guy get back looking type slick again, and he kind of gets his shit together. And you know, it's like he ends this song with, like, this desire to, like, shape up and, like, live better while, like, acknowledging that this is kind of where he's been at, and this is kind of something that he struggles with. And, like...
And we all have, like, ebbs and like, flows, like, in our lives. Like, you know, we all have, like, up and downs. And so, I mean, at some point, like, this is, you know, something that, you know, everyone's going to kind of relate to. And I think that that's, like, kind of, like, an important message to have, like, something that's powerful that's going to, like, you know, especially in the middle of, like, such, like, a tough, you know, like, tough guy kind of, like, an album. You know, if someone's just going to sit there for the first time and, like, listen to it all the way through, they might, you know, be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to go murder people, blah, 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 whatever. But then, like, you know, they probably have the same sort of, like, hurt on the inside, too, right?
Fair enough. Yeah, I also feel like there's an interesting transition on this album, right? Where it starts off like super, super fucking hard, and then almost becomes more self-aware and calmer a little bit in that regard, I think, by the end. I mean, there's still a few more fun tracks, a little bit of aggressive flair to go, but...
Oh, yeah.
I think Slipping is a really interesting track on this. It's one of my favorites. It might not be one of my favorite DMX songs. Anyway, let's talk about why the internet has no love for me.
But my dog's gonna be a thug with me.
You fucking with me, ain't keeping your health right.
See, if I'm gonna rob, I'm gonna rob all night. And if I'm looking for something, it's probably a fight. This is it. This is that. Okay, we had the super serious, deep song. What we really needed now was some Swiss Beats DMX action. Fuck does this deliver, man. It's just like... It's just got this energy, like, keep your head in the air. And the whole, like, intro part, you're like, okay, it's slow, it's weird sounding. And then it just flips, and DMX is like, ain't no other cat's got love for me. Ain't no other cat's gonna boss slug. I can't do it right. But he just comes in with his fucking flair, and that's a hook that's bumping that makes you want to, like, sing along and shit. And then... flows into the verses, man. I'm like, that. It's an insane flow. It's fucking hyper. It's got that crazy shit that really, like, kind of, like, sucks me in, you know? Like, since I got to be here, can't wait to begin. Wanna fuck shorty, can't stand shorty friend, cause honey friend, fuck many, many men. Stay with the rats, cause the rats is real. Wanna fuck, then we fuck, already know the deal. Shit, fuck what you look like, just show the real. You know, if most other people were that repetitive in their lines and shit, I'd managed to be really critical and find it to be poorly written. But DMX is able to, again, use brevity a la Max in terms of vocabulary diversity sometimes, and just like slays it, moves everything around, gives this whole like I like the girl, but like her friend's kind of a snitch and she hangs out with shady people. And I wanted to fuck her, but she made it complicated to fuck here. And I'm just like, I love it. How did we go from slipping, falling, and can't get up to this? I do not fully know, but it makes total sense, and I fucking am really into the energy of this track.
Yep.
Verse 2 has drag on, like dragon or drag on. I don't know, but you know, and he's pretty good. He actually holds his own next to DMX really properly. You know, fucking with me ain't keeping your health right, because me and my boys, we keep it jail tight. The shit I pack is heavy and the shell's light. When they drop the same time, you drop without a fight. Goes on from there. You might take a drag, but you can't flame on. That's actually pretty cool. I like that, you know. Anyway, it just kind of comes on and he just hits it up. And then, you know, the chorus comes in. DMX does a little bridge, you know. Don't let anybody tell you what to hope and to fear. Do you hear what I tell you? Understand what you hear. Don't let nobody tell you what to hope and to fear. It's like in the middle of this random-ass track of aggression and blah, 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 DMX is giving you wise words and motivational fucking messages about you standing for what you believe in at the cost of, like, other people's perceptions. And then right back into it. What you want, because I got it right here, y'all front. Then I hit you right there. Not really impressed by where... Talk shit. I really don't care. I'm the type that'll die for the cause. Fuck what you heard. I will die for my dogs. Ain't scared of shit. Will ride in the fog. Anyway, goes on. Talks the same kind of stuff. Fucks around with Dragon because they're homies and shit. And yeah, I fucking dig it. I don't know why. It's not the lyrically most profound song, but I just had that. So here I'm okay with the fire hype. I want to fucking dance and bash out to this shit. Like, I would mosh to a lot of these DMX songs. That's how I feel. Like, just ain't nobody cares. You know, I just like fucking mash out. Like, it's so good. It's such a high energy, fun, amazing track. Either way, I give it a 4.5 on 5 because if it did have that lyrical density to it as well, it would be like absolute perfection to me. But right now, 4.5, fucking great.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. The beat was very good. You know, the cat, he has no love for the cats, or sorry, no cats will love him, but his dogs will be loyal. Again, you know, he wants, you know, the loyalty of like dogs, and like maybe like I wasn't sure if this meant that he couldn't find like a partner, or like he just, you know, couldn't find someone like serious.
I think he's saying like, because like cats is another way to describe just people, not necessarily like women or whatever. I think he's saying those cats, as in not my dogs. It's like a derogatory term for people who aren't his dogs, because if you're not a dog, you're a fucking cat. I guess
I'll be a cat anytime. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought the beat was really good, but I couldn't really tell you what the song was about. Yeah, I even read the lyrics along to it, and I was like, I don't even know what this song's really about. But I mean, I liked it. It was fun. Again, I gave it another 4.25.
All right, let's talk about how we is dogs for life. No cats up in here.
That's a lie.
There's my dogs. I'm a robber still with you. Dog, nigga, what?
This one's produced by Dame Grease, and it's very smooth and it's very lovely. But the song starts off with a little skit. So dude pulls up, claims Rough Rider, shoots, then dude gets shot. And then the song kind of just starts. That's a really like simple version, but there's like I guess 2 guys in the car that pull up from the Rough Riders camp. They shoot the next guy for X reason, but the guy shoots back. It's a lot of guns. And then it turns out Buddy, who did the shooting, took a bullet, and now they got to deal with it. And then the song starts, and that's kind of where it's at. So how do you feel about the song?
I mean, it was okay, this one. It was fine. So obviously, you know, like you said, someone in like the crew was shot. We all know what that means, folks, that he is obviously going to retaliate, and he wants to, you know, he wants to destroy whoever like hurt his homeboy. So, you know, and the conflicts destroy love. And, you know, again, he talks about the love for his dog, even though like the dog's dead. I mean, it was what it was. It was basically like having your homeboys back. And it was nice enough. I gave it a 4 on 5, but it wasn't like an outstanding song.
I think it was an outstanding song.
Okay.
Because here's an example of DMX kind of doing what he does on this like slower, zenned out beat, but actually meshing fluidly with it. Like, I think the combination of the style of beat and how he hit it is just great. I mean, even that hook, I will rob and steal with you, dog, what, ride till we die. He can say ride till we die a lot, and I will never get bored of that. On till it's up, thick like blood, where's my dogs? There's my dogs. And that's just it's like such a DMX hook, right?
Oh, where are my dogs? Oh, there are my dogs.
But those are his dogs, right? And his dogs are his peoples, and he loves his peoples.
Yes, we know that.
Now, I like how he's like, now I am who I'll be until I die. Either accept it or don't fuck with it. But if we're going to be dogs, then you stuck with it. Let me go my way, but walk with me. See what I see, watch me, talk with me. Share my pain, make it a little easier to deal with. Because despite all the fame, I'm going to keep it real with. If you are one of his dogs, there's this loyalty. But you must understand that DMX is a bit crazy, and you're going to have to put up with this crazy. You really will. And
Yeah.
I've heard I heard some, like, okay, there's this one dude on YouTube, and like he made these videos like a couple of years. He might still be active. And he just tells stories of like back in the day with rappers, and he like talks into this like shitty microphone headset type shit. It's just fucking terrible. He told this whole story about hanging out with DMX back in the day. And man, this guy was a little bit something else to hang out with, is what I understood. Like a little bit out there. Like he's like they were like drove off into some like crazy part of Detroit or whatever it was, Chicago or something. And like guys like, I live here, I didn't even know where we were going. And then DMX just runs into the alley by himself, no security or anything, comes back in with something. We go back to the hotel, and DMX already had an ounce of weed in the bag. So he's like, I don't even know what the fuck he went to go get. And you're just like, and DMX calls up Jadakiss and starts yelling at him, asking for money and shit. And I'm like, man, DMX is something else. But like, so I just pictured all of that with these lines there going in. Like, he's a little bit crazy, but regardless of whatever, if you're on his team, you're on his team and shit. He'll rob with you, he'll steal with you, ride with you. You know, love is love, and I enjoy the love. But when there's conflict, then it destroys the love. You can't toy with love. Take it to heart. You ain't going to find too many willing to bark in the dark. And I love that. He's just like, man, love is real and stuff. But if you fuck with that love, we're no longer going to be dogs and shit. You know, just don't fuck that up. But like, and then like, it continues on. The shit we used to do, never thought we would make it rapping, but now we're here at the same place at the same time. I got the jokes because get it with the same rhyme is living comfortable because life is all good. But one thing we must remember is that life is all hood and the casket's all wood, and we all take there one day. Shit, today is Sunday. We both can be there on Monday. And it's just interesting to like have him in this place of more success, kind of reminiscing with his people from back in the day who were there when nobody thought anybody was going to make it, and both remembering that they're still hood and that like anybody can still die and shit, but at the same time just appreciating that they're going to make it till Monday, make it till the next day and stuff, you know? Like it's just really deep, man. The third verse kind of continues on where, like, he's with his people and fake people are kind of fake and they're real and, you know, same kind of shit.
Usual.
But I get this one a 4.5. I think it's great. I think the message is cool. I like this one a little bit, like, flows nicely over the beat. It's, like, pretty fucking strong. Like I said earlier, I feel like the second half of the project is, like, a serious step out from the first half, and which is often the opposite of what I find happens on albums. Usually, like, the first half is hype, and then it just kind of trickles on down, but not here. That was cool.
Let's check out Blackout.
Yeah.
Morning. If you're alive in the morning, that's fine. Now I suggest you hit the block and get what's rightfully mine.
This one starts off with a pretty funny moment. Jay-Z goes, Jay, and then the Lox is like, fuck that. And then Jadakiss comes in, because apparently both Jadakiss and Jay-Z could be Jay. I thought that was just a little cute thing that the internet told me happened, and I wouldn't have caught if the internet didn't tell me it happened.
Thanks, internet.
How do you feel about this one?
I think that this one was basically like a crew song, right? Like it's like, you know, him and his buddies and whatever. And obviously like, because there's a few different like people that like come in and like, you know, have their like bars. But like obviously like Jay-Z and DMX like stood out to me the most, like with their like skill and with their voice and like whatever it is, something about them, they pulled me in more than the other guys did. Not that I'm saying that they're bad, they just are better.
I don't think. I wonder what the Locks would have to say
so-
about that.
Well, maybe he's better now. I don't know, but like, anyways, you know what I have to say, obviously. Anyways,
Eminem has Jadakiss in his top 6 or whatever.
okay, well, maybe I need to listen to more of Jadakiss. So I wasn't really sure whether or not I found the beat annoying or not. Like it is kind of annoying, and I don't know. This song wasn't for me. It was an okay song. It was another kind of like whatever song. Even though like, you know, we have like, you know, great people on it. It just didn't, whatever. I gave it a 4 on 5. It's good, but it's not great.
So I gave it a 4.5 on 5, and I had a very different feeling. I thought everybody but DMX on this song is pretty stellar.
Oh, interesting.
DMX sounds like DMX, but like for real, all he says, grrr, I'm headed nowhere fast, running in place, scat in my waist, wanted a taste, but wouldn't come to my face. So what you mean, you cats is playing games? So what do? Start saying names again? What? All you motherfuckers know that I speak from the heart? Play like you don't know, Locks is going bark, we can take it from there, we go, anyway, and I just don't feel that DMX said a lot of interesting shit on this. He delivered it absolutely fine.
As he does.
But, like, I actually really like Jadakiss here, you know? Like, yo, I used to have bad luck. Now you might see me in a jag truck, mad stuck, either with a dime or a bad duck. And he's just there with ladies. He doesn't even matter what kind of quality they are, you know? But either way, he's got his jag truck. He's moved on from the next thing. Like, because I walk around your whole advance on my wrist. Ooh, his watch is worth your whole fucking record label advance. That's how good he is. Boning your women, drunk off Coronas and lemon. You know I'm still right in the mean, light in the green. I need the bucket even though I look right in the beam. You just got this swag. Like, Jadakiss is fucking good. I don't even care what you're saying. This is a good fucking verse. And then he goes on, like, you pay 30 for the kiss, 100 for the locks, and if we cool, I'll write a hook for a drop. Unless I'm mistaken, he's saying, if I like you, I'll write a hook for a car. I could be wrong, or maybe it's a drug thing. I don't really know. But anyways, he's just kind of letting everyone know, yo, if you want the locks, here's how much we cost, 30 grand, 100 grand. Come on, baby, pay up and you get us. And then Chic does the second verse, and yo, like, ayo, when my gun bust, sent to the fish like Swanson, New York's youngest Bumpy Johnson, I put fear on your head, Chic. Luch, sorry if I said that wrong, type gasoline y'all beds, and that's warning. If y'all alive in the morning, that's fine. Now I suggest you hit the block and get what's rightfully mine. So he's gonna burn you down, and if you survive, cool, pay him. You know, like, he's gonna torch your house, but pay him. And it's just like a savagery, like, to this verse, and his flow's in fucking pretty dope, you know. And I love what he's like, I put 30 in your head all in the same hole because we got the same goal and you're trying to tamper with mine. Don't make me motherfucking leave you with some shit in your sign. Fuck with me, you be a was dope, was getting money before I extorted your coke. You crazy? I fucking like it. Styles comes in, does a nice one too. Catch me with a 38 box of shells and 98 Lincoln eating pasta shells. You know, the same kind of shit. It wasn't as like lyrically quotable to me. But then Jay-Z, holy fuck, do I want to go back and do like the second Jay-Z album now or whatever? Because that was technically proficient a la max, fucking skilled out and fucking savage at the same time. Like, the beeper done changed, you dead bitch. The reaper done came. I said, stop speaking my name, cause trust me, I can feel the heat in the rain. I still creep in streets, keep watching, I keep peeping. His hot heads, but the bullets is heat seeking. J flow for pesos, chasos not. I just circle around the block and then drop, tell him jump to the top. It's just fucking like savagery in regards to the way he delivers it bluntly. Like, he used to be in a certain way, now his whole script's flipped up, and this is the ridiculous ways he's coming through. He doesn't play in your league, you know, he doesn't chase women chase him. It's all sorts of interesting, like, it's just a really good verse. And then Earl, I give it a 4.5. I think it was really close to being a perfect song, but like,
Maybe I missed out.
I don't know. I liked it all. It was a really great posse cut. Like, it makes me want to do the first Locks album. It makes me want to do fucking Jay-Z more.
We have to get to them at some point.
Yeah, especially that Money, Power, Respect, I think's the album. That sounds like a classic as far as the comment section has had a request for it. Anyway, who likes talking about track 14 title tracks? Flesh of my flesh,
Blood of my blood.
Figures, plus niggas scared to bust niggas doing with the heat and they killing them.
This is joyful. That beat kicks in. DMX kicks in. Like, this is a beautiful collaboration between Swizz Beatz and DMX. I love it. Just flesh on my flesh, blood on my blood comes in hard. I like a lot of times title tracks miss the marks,
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know why that is.
but this is not a title track that missed the mark.
No.
This is possibly one of the best songs on the album.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the beat's ridiculous. That chorus is flesh of my blood, blood of my blood, all my get down like what? And it's kind of like how he's shouting at his dogs and everybody else, but now we're just getting real. This is his people, like literally the flesh of his flesh, the blood of his blood. From a religious context, that's why you eat the bread and you drink the wine, because it's the flesh and the blood, and you create that like unity amongst everything. And I love how he takes that like Christian symbolism and uses it to create a unity amongst his posse.
Yeah, and which he does a lot. It's pretty powerful.
I mean, it starts off, my dog's his dog with official bloodlines. I say, stop being greedy, get a plate. You want mine? What? Always force you to take me back to the streets. Can I at least go 1 year without spitting the heat? That's a good line, because when your second album's coming out in the same year, you can drop some shit like that. And let's be real, he went 5 albums in 5 years.
Yeah.
Even if he had
Pretty
a little
hardcore.
delay over some legal issues, 5 albums in 5 years is 5 number 1 albums, although maybe dipping as time went on, but still, got to give the man his props. Mm-hmm. And then, motherfuckers think it's sweet, so you get your chest messed up. 2 days later, he's dressed up, let him rest up. That's because you get shot and you get nicely put in your coffin and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It comes in with this super fucking intensity. The second verse kind of comes on through, fucking with the street. You ain't feeling nothing but mine. Tired of hearing rhyme that don't say shit. Fuck is on mine. Why don't they quit? Man, DMX must not be into the modern era. Let your man sucking my dick, looking for something new. Let your man hold something with your hold, something crew. We don't forget shit. If you was there when it's thin, you was there when it's thick. No hitchhikers. Fuck that. The ride was rough. He's got his clique. He's established it, and you're not going to be able to just show up and join it. Like, this is for his people. Again, I mean, he's made many songs for his people, but I think that's what makes DMX so interesting is that this man values this loyalty and stuff, and he's really, it's as much as he knows he's great, he's never forgotten his people. If his people aren't eating, I'm certain that DMX wasn't happy. I mean, I may be exaggerating that, but you get that feeling from him. You just want to back his whole squad and shit, And then I just feel like the third verse follows through. It's just a good song. It's just really fun to listen to, without going through line for line and everything. It's just it's a 5. It's fucking
wow.
This is a banger. To me, it's, again, like I said, when these guys hit it together, it's one of my favorite sounds in rap.
Cool. I mean, yeah. I mean, so this is basically just about him and his crew, the Rough Riders, and yeah. I mean, you basically kind of summed it up. It's just about his love for them and how much he appreciates them. It was nice. It was interesting. I liked the violin at the end. I think it was a violin. But I like the instrument. It sounded, nice to have that on there. I gave it a 4.25. It's kind of been a little bit, for me, it felt a little bit more consistent with a lot of the other songs that were on this album. Yeah, that's it.
All right. If we're ready for some story time, let's talk about the heat.
Okay.
Whoa, all niggas could really do is had the vest under the coat. Come on, the heat is on.
So I haven't seen the movie, but apparently this is DMX's reimagining of the movie Heat with Robert De Niro.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
That's what Genius said. So internet, let us know if that's true or not, and we'll watch Heat. But otherwise, it really just plays out this whole movie, right? The heat's on. What's his next move? He's gonna figure out what he's gonna do. They're gonna, they plot out this whole thing. And then these guys go through, and he's kind of like, these guys didn't make it, and then the rest of us that are here are splitting the remaining of the money, etc. We all feel the loss of those guys who didn't make it through this situation, our little robbery that we did, but that's okay because we like to profit. It's the game. It's how it moves on, etc. And then, the chorus comes in. The heat is on. Are y'all really ready to fly? The heat. And it's a pretty fucking good hook. Don't even get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then me and my two mans gave money, 20 grand for a scam. They don't get the condo in the sand. Chance of getting slim next to none. But now we're like 3 deep. Need that extra gun. So they get their 4th person. He had principles and wasn't nothing soft, etc., etc. They run into the bank. They fucking rob the bank. We on the clock, 3 minutes till it's finished. Feds are on the way. He's trying to see spinach. They're in and out, etc., etc. Run up in the civilian car, drive away. So now they've robbed the bank and they're on their getaway. It's a high-speed chase, that's in the air and everything. And they just kind of run it through. He's just kind of into this life. It's the fast life. What can you do? It's what's going on. Fleeing from the condo, And then basically he just keeps doing this until one day he's going to die. And
the end.
Go back to being discreet, live long till one day either me or the heat is gone. So until either he survives or until the heat's off of him. So the whole track's just kind of about the anxiety or whatever of having people looking for you after committing crimes and being on the run and shit.
Yep.
But I know that my retelling was pretty bullshit, and I apologize. I'm a little bit off today. That's what it is. But this felt like I was watching a movie listening to the song. I didn't even realize it was video, but my main note is this was like a movie playing out in a song. And I thought it was really cool. Mm-hmm. So I gave this a 4.5 on 5. I very much enjoyed it. I kind of wanted a lot. It made me wish we had more of these story songs on this album. Yeah. That's what it made me feel like. But yeah.
Yeah. I really like this one. I think from just doing more lyrical breakdowns and looking more at stories in songs and kind of what they're trying to teach us and whatever what they're trying to say. I like this one. I like that there was kind of a real story, kind of throughout, and it's not always the case in a lot of rap songs, which I think is, there should be more. So it's basically just planning an attack. They've got their guns ready. They say that all you can do is kind of just hope to wear a bulletproof vest on underneath your jacket. It was a really cool beat, basically just trying not to get caught. And I think it just kind of sums up with this troublesome life is his life. And that's what it is. So I like this one. I give it a 4.5 as well.
Okay, so then we can move on to the last one.
It's a long one.
To meet him.
Lock. Wanna come back home? All you gotta do is knock. You see, I left home a boy, but return.
So this is the only time the prayer song was stuck onto another song, which is a little bit sad. But it also really worked in this case. So it starts off with the second prayer, and DMX just does his prayer, and he thanks people, and let us pray. Thank you, Lord, for my birth and everything that's followed. And he thanks God for a bunch of shit. And then, and I think it's this one that he bothers because I need you here with me without my life. I think back to some people did like me. Violence was the remedy. And because I think of that now, I pray for my enemy. And then he kind of spends the rest of them honestly asking for forgiveness and hope that his enemies and the people who wish harm upon him can kind of find the light almost. And I was like, damn. That's a really Christian approach to this. That's some authenticity in your prayer. Everything about his prayer here is biblically textbook what a prayer is supposed to be. Thank God first, show compassion, and it's not really about him. He has gratitude for himself and desire for betterment of other people, and that is next level to me, as far as the prayer part goes.
Sure. And
then the song, wow, it just follows up, in my opinion, this is I love he's ready to meet God, and because where I'm living ain't right. Black hate white, white hate black. It's right back to the same fight. They got us suspecting a war, but the real war is to follow the law of the Lord. And it's almost this racial stuff, which is still prevalent today, is almost a distraction from the real battle, which is becoming right with God.
Mm-hmm.
And then that first verse kind of tells the story of that parable or whatever of like you're walking in the sand and you see two sets of footprints and you look back and then for patches there's only one and you go, God, why did you abandon me, etc. And God's like, you fucking idiot, I was carrying you the whole time, I never left you. And that's kind of what he does in this first verse, you know, like he's all like talking to God, I thought I was special, why are you letting all these things happen to my child? And then he does the opposite of a Damien voice. It's the God voice, and God's not talking to him. My child, I'm here as I've always been. It is you who went away and are now back again. What did I say? Follow your word and be true. What did you do? Well, what I wanted to do. What have you seen? Darkness and hell at a glance. What do you want? All I want is another chance. It's a little different than that parable, but it's still like in the same principle. Like he left God. God never abandoned him. And then I love, just because you went away, my doors are not locked. Want to come back home, all you got to do is knock. And that's just the ultimate. It's like there's no too far point in the world of DMX. He understands that what God's love is. And that's something that is super rare for a flaw, especially like I've never heard a rapper talk about God, in my opinion, like DMX has, where it really is he's sharing his relationship with you almost firsthand, you know?
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know, describing it back over here. Now it's like, where do I belong? Do I fit in? Things on my mind. Where do I begin? It's easier to sin. Then it hurts my head. I'm really trying to win, but where do we start? Thou shalt not steal, but what if you stole from me? Thou shalt not kill, but what if you're trying to kill me? Thou shalt not take my name in vain, no matter how hard it rains, withstand the pain. And it's just kind of saying you can't do some of these things you've been doing. Live differently and shit. And then, you know, he's not ashamed to ask for guidance. He's 27 here. It's crazy to think he's 27 when it's like crazy. You know, it's like, I love it when they're not so young, because that's when they start dropping the more interesting shit, you know? No longer afraid to knock at your door. He's not scared. He can't afford to lose his head by the sword. And now that I've seen what I need to see, please take me where I need to be. He's like, he tells God, like, I learned stuff, I'm ready. And then God questions him, what have you learned? It's better to tell the truth than to lie. What have you learned? To love my life until I die. Violence isn't always the key. You can't always believe what you see. It's better to forgive than forget. Give as you expect to get. That I can't go on without you. I must have been a fool to ever doubt you. And you just see that DMX's transition. Like, this is the same guy that's on that first track, just fucking raping dead girls. And here he is, like, talking to God, like, just asking for forgiveness and showing the wisdom he's gained throughout his adventure, showing he's earned the right to come back into God's house and shit, in a sense. And I love that weird beat that they put together for this one. It's not like the other ones that I believe this is another one from Swizz, but it's a little bit different. It's a little like weird and out there, like the first one.
It sounds like a little bit like creepy, but like spiritual at the same time. It's interesting.
I love it. I think it's great. I give it a 5. This is an amazing song. I think it's one of the best album closers based on the album that I've heard. It's pretty good.
Awesome. I mean, I really like. Wow, your opinion like definitely like is solid. I mean, I don't have like the same connection, religious connection, as you do. But I mean, I understood, you know, exactly what it was. He's praying. I didn't realize there was a way that you had to pray.
It's not that there's like a way, but there is a part where it describes how to pray, and I appreciate how he hit it, you know?
Okay. That's cool though. I mean, so he's like ready to die and go to like heaven. Like he wants to be, he obviously wants to be better. He wants to like have like that last chance to like prove himself that he's better than, you know, maybe some of the things that he's done in his past. He's obviously, you know, done all these terrible things, and he's basically hoping for God to forgive him. And like, you know, he obviously feels remorseful, and he just wants, like I said, a second chance basically. So the song is kind of sad, but like spiritual and like more positive. Like he wants something better for himself, and he's obviously trying to like get himself on the right path. So I think that's, you know, the most important thing. So it, like I said, it did sound a little bit creepy, like as well, like the beat. It was interesting, and it's a very unique song. Like there's not a lot of songs that are like I don't know, let her like this. I gave it a 4.25. I mean, it wouldn't be one that I would listen to often. It is also a very long song. It's like 7 minutes, 25 seconds.
It's worth it.
It is worth it. And it doesn't feel like it's that long of a song either. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be my go-to, but I appreciate what he's saying in this.
Fair enough. So yeah, I guess like for the album as a whole, I give it a 4.375. I feel like this album is so close to being like a classic in terms of like every track being awesome, but there's just a couple that aren't so awesome. Like that second half of the album, next level to me. Like I feel like as of the Omen or the one right before, it just is great. It is pretty fucking epic. But there's a few sleepers before it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily sold on the first few tracks. I mean, you guys just heard this whole thing if you want. But like, that's my like quick version of it. I do feel like It's Dark and Hell is Hot, I think, is a better project. I don't know about the later ones. I'm biased towards And Then There Was X. But like, this is a great project. And as far as like my interest goes, I could see myself just running through all of DMX's albums. You can just spend a day with Earl. But like, there are a lot of songs on here I think are great, but I feel like it's a light version of the last album. But considering how quickly it came out after the first project, I take it with a grain of salt. Like, it makes sense. It might be a little bit watered down compared to it, but it's still beyond impressive that like he was able to make this happen while promoting the last album. You know, like it's
pretty cool.
Amazing to me. So I don't know. That's what I have to say about that.
Good. I mean, yeah, I gave this album overall a 4.23 on 5, so that's like an 84%. So I mean, he, like I said at the very beginning of this, he has like incredible vocals, and like I said, not all of his songs are hits, especially like on this album, but they're still like, they're usually pretty interesting to listen to, and they're fun and they're unique. He obviously has like a lot inside of him, and he expresses himself well through his rap songs. Like, he does a really great job. I think that he's a really cool guy. And like, even if you don't listen like intensely to his words, because a lot of the time, like I'll just say it, he's not like a super highly educated guy, so like his like words aren't like, his lyrics aren't like profound things, but they are interesting to listen to. But even if you don't listen to them,
I would just say they're pretty profound,
like
in
concept,
but the delivery might not have the eloquence of, say, a more verbose person.
Yeah, like, I mean, but like, I think that like, I mean, besides all of that, like, I'm not like judging him at all. I think that, you know, he's great, and what he does is great. But like, even if you're not listening to like his like lyrics, just listening to like the album and his voice is just so incredible. He's got like all this great flow, and like, you know, he shouts and he puts all these like ad libs into like his songs, and like he's kind of like a 10 times better Little John. I'll just say that. You know, he does all these things, but he does them in his own songs. So shots fired a little bit. So I mean, this wasn't like the best album, but it was certainly one that I enjoyed giving a listen to, and I think that you guys should too.
Yeah, so thank y'all for being with us. It's still incredible that you watch these, that you show up. It's very encouraging that you comment. I love the comments. So feel free to let us know what you thought of this album, what you thought of any of his albums, what you thought of Lil Pump and Kanye West song. I happen to really like that song. I don't know why I do. I never thought I'd say I like a Lil Pump song, but that Lil Pump and Kanye West song is
like,
fucking
video.
Good. I like it, you know, scoop. Anyway, so let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know what you think of the Kanye scoop. Anyway, special thanks to our patrons. Ismail G. We'll go with G. Linda Williams, Super Old School 1994. Thank y'all. You're fucking the best. They support us. And if you want to join the request raffle, where once a month they throw in a request, we pick one randomly. And then now, new thing, everybody gets a free album if you join that shit. So if you want to see us cover some obscure thing, you want to see us cover your album, this is a great way to make that happen. Otherwise, you can hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content. You can hit that like button or the dislike, depending on how you feel. But mostly, if you put a comment, I will answer you. So thank you all for being with us. Let us know what you want to see and all that good shit. And peace.
Bye, guys.